Greetings and welcome to the second sign. Now, this week, when I was trying to decide whether or not I was going to do a Sunday evening stream, I got to yesterday evening, and I was like, well, anything big going on in the news? Yes, here in the United Kingdom, two absolutely colossal stories have taken place. Well, colossal in terms of effect on your life, minimal. Physical effect, mental effect on your life, probably, depending on how seriously you take it, could be a lot more severe. So yeah, we're going to look at the two big storylines that were absolutely dominating the main place I see it on the YouTube app. I've got a picture of it I could show you, but before we look at that picture, I'm just going to give you a bit of random information about myself. I went through the beautiful village of Bromham, and for some reason my mind struck back to one of these news stories today. Let me show you Bromham, and we'll see if you can see why my mind was taken there. Okay, yeah, I don't know if you know the place. Thatched cottages. The place looks amazing when you drive through it. Anyway, for some reason, one of these thatched roofs really clicked, and I was like, I've seen that somewhere, and we'll see if it comes back up again tonight. Okay, yeah, as I say, two big news stories. Tonight's stream is Crossbows and Crossbars, which, if you manage to avoid mainstream headlines, then I can tell you, crossbars refers to, here in the UK, it's a big deal at the minute, or at least in England, it's a big deal because we're in the World Cup final. And a lot of people take the European Cup football tournament hugely serious. It has a massive impact on their lives. When something like this happens, probably the highlight of their year for some people. And I don't want to ruin anyone's day, so if you like football, you might want to mute your mic for a minute or two. But when they went to Sepp Blatter and said, you know what, some of our games are really dull and boring, any chance we can liven it up a bit? And Seb replied, don't worry, I'll fix it. Okay, fix it, yeah. I just, since coming to the conclusion that football's a load of crap, I haven't been interested, so completely lost touch with it. You start noticing in football games, goalkeepers deliberately nudging the ball into his own net and all sorts of crazy things. Once you realise, hang on, this game's fixed, isn't it? All those weird things make perfect sense. But if you're enjoying the football, don't let me take the entertainment away from you. Consider it the WWE. You know, it's all scripted, but great entertainment. And whilst I hope I'm not ruining anyone's weekend where football's a big deal. It used to be for me, you know, I've been there. I felt the pain of a team making the most ridiculous decision ever, or the referee being ridiculously unfair. And it all makes sense when you realise, yeah, this game's scripted from start to finish. Does that go on throughout football? Probably not, no. Those big tournaments that you see on mainstream TV, yeah, those ones are done for the money, you could say. I did a stream once before called Football, a Betting Swindle, where I suggested that because some gambling organisations, I think it was Ladbrokes or some company, were sponsoring a football tournament, I said, do you think they would have any influence on the outcome? But yeah, we also looked at the pools. In that particular stream, we brought up numerology, looked at some of the numerical values of people's names. I'm not someone that could possibly tell you it, you know. I don't go into football overly enthusiastically, but yeah, I don't go into the numerology side of things ridiculously over the top. Right, why isn't my live chat working? It's ridiculous. But I certainly notice when some of these events take place, and Yeah, I cannot deny it. Right, we've got the Rumble live chat on the screen. If anyone wants to make a rare appearance on there and say hello on Rumble, that would be massive, and it would make my evening. Right, where's our chat? It's not working. We'll get it working in a minute, I'm sure. Okay. Has that got us anywhere? There we go, we've got the live chat up. We've got Mudlark Digging Up the Thames in the chat, and we also had Club Ruckus too earlier. Yeah, Mudlark's doing some moderating by the looks of it, so thanks, appreciate that. Yeah, Mudlark, you say you were going to leave a comment on this, on the other story. We've covered the football. Without wanting to ruin anyone's weekend, that's my take on it. Football, they know who they want in those finals. Yeah, don't buy it. But if the game entertains you, then great. Yeah, the other story, again, if you're not part of the United Kingdom, this thing, which already seems to be getting forgotten about, overshadowed by England making it to the World Cup, there was an event that happened yesterday, I believe it was, in which a celebrated sports commentator had most of their family taken out with a crossbow. Kleb in the live chat actually suggests perhaps crossbows might become something of the past. Well, I don't know. Yeah, perhaps they might make them harder to own. Who knows what what will be the response to this massive news story? Because one thing I can guarantee you, we do have a yeah, this is one of them. Okay, far be it from me for 1 second in anyone's life to suggest that
have you ever used orphans to study an experimental vaccine?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Got the intro starting again. Right. Yeah. Far be it for me to tell anyone that anything they read in the newspaper is to be believed. I mean, that's up to you. I do happen, though, to see a lot of similarities. Now, is it me, or is the person I'm looking at on the screen there a dead ringer for that musician? I'm sure I'm not the only person that sees the resemblance, absolute uncanny resemblance to someone else that was involved in a horrible event, let's say. John Moore, sorry, is that his name? I'm sorry, I can't even get the guy's name right. Where are we? Hunt, isn't it? John Hunt, of course, sorry. He has a couple of... He allegedly lost all the women in his life. Now, I would like you to think back to the last time anyone in your local area passed away. Maybe unexpectedly, not necessarily an older person, but just anyone. Someone died unexpectedly, maybe in an accident or some other horrible event. And just remember, how long was it until the name of that person just became public knowledge? Everyone knew who it was that died in that car crash, for example. It takes ages for the police to release any information which could be crucial in in legal proceedings where they take someone to court to have their day in front of a judge to be tried for crimes they're accused of. But whenever it's a high-profile case, all those things just go out the window. They don't care. They'll give you everything. They'll give you the time. They'll give you the location. They'll give you the name of the victims. They'll give you the name of the perpetrator. It's all common knowledge, public knowledge. And in a weird twist of coincidence, news organizations start buying up the rights to these people's images. Very strange. You can also probably guarantee that they're already booking the cameras to to follow what will be very high-profile funerals, I'm guessing. Get ready for this. They get their numbers in, of course. I have to say that. Kyle Clifford was the perp, 26, and he was found in Enfield, North London on Wednesday. Kyle, so what? Is that relevant information? Why, what did Kyle Clifford apparently do? I love the numerology calculator, as I say. John Hunt is a 38 in Pythagorean and Chaldean. Kyle. Oh, let's try spelling his name right. 63 and 47. Just see if what we tend to notice in numerology, if you're not familiar with it, is the same numbers coming up time and time again. Does it mean anything? Who knows? On its own, no, probably doesn't mean much, but it is certainly a language that's put there. Yeah, why would we find out this random piece of information about Kyle Clifford? Who might he be, you might ask? They tell us everything. I think, don't worry, there is a Wikipedia article already being prepared for this high-profile event. Police officers stood outside someone's home. Must be real then, yeah? PA Media. Why were they on the spot to take this perfectly timed picture of grieving relatives? Oh, sorry, not necessarily grieving relatives. Possibly very genuine members of the public who wanted to show their support to a tragic event, as far as they're concerned. So they get behind it, you could say. They have a emotional connection. They went and dropped flowers on the doorstep. These people must be real, right? Let's have a look at it. Yeah, every second of this, as I say, normally criminal activity is kept private. It's not just blasted out to the public for everyone to watch. And not here, though. BBC News, they've got a minute by minute breakdown, 1723, every time a new 1754, every time something new is added to this story, they put it immediately on the news. Our coverage is coming to an end. Here's a reminder of the main updates from today. This is someone's death. This is someone's tragic death, and you're talking about it like a soap opera. Updates on 3 people losing their lives to Kyle Clifford. You've got to take a look at him. We'll just see, because another thing I do find in high-profile news events is that a lot of the people look what you could call artificial. Does anyone else, I say anyone else happens to be tuning in, not see the resemblance of the person I'm looking at? She was a musician at the MEN Arena. Her name, fortunately, has gone right out of my head. I don't retain such horrible information. Grande, that's it. Ariana. I remembered it for myself. Yeah, have a look at these people. In fact, give us a sec, because we do have an image of... Right, why isn't... I should have the live chat up. Bear with me. Right, can we get the live chat working? No. Typical. Yeah, Mudlark points out the police should not be releasing information about the murder victims. Yeah, they told us everything. Mudlark also says most murders are unreported by the mainstream media, so I question how genuine are the ones that are reported. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't see your what you're putting up. Why isn't the live chat working? I must fix this 1 second. Yeah, and by the way, apologies as tonight's stream took place. It started a little later than I was meant to. 9 PM was supposed to be our beginning. But I don't know. Right, can we get it working? I reckon we can. We will. There we go. I knew it would come up eventually. Although it shouldn't look like that. There we go. Yeah, thanks for taking part, by the way, Mudlark, in the chat. Yeah, Clifford, who, just by sheer coincidence, happens to have a 63 name in Pythagoron. Let's see if anyone else has that number, 3 and 6, or 2 and 6. Right, well, yeah, I want to bring up an image of the perpetrator and see if anything looks familiar to you. Hang on, where are we? Let me bring my display border up. Here we are. This gentleman. Does anyone notice anything? You know, I mentioned thatched roofs, thatched cottages. Unfortunately, this is a really poor quality image. Hopefully we can find a better one. Oh, what happened there? I've lost it. Yeah, just here, the thatched cottage effect of his hair. Looks like it is stuck on like a thatched roof. Do we still have our image up of the thatch? Yeah, there we go. As far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, there's a dead likeness between this guy with his thatched hair and the roofs of the beautiful town of Bromham in Wiltshire. I think it's Wiltshire, around Wiltshire somewhere. Okay. And yeah, we're still yet to find out too much about what actually happened. Obviously, I've not gone into too much information. Surely I can't be the only person that thinks that guy looks, 1, like he's wearing a wig, 2, like he's got I don't know, the whole thing rings out fake beard to me. Looking a little artificial. Alright, should we hear Sky News' account? It's only, I don't want to get anything copyright struck, so we'll keep the audio off. Actually, I probably better just do still images, because I don't think YouTube will tolerate me using... What happened there? Using Sky's video. So yeah, this was the moment. Apparently they had a helicopter ready with a news camera for this particular event in Enfield. They... I don't know how early you would... Well... Okay, yeah. This can't possibly be a police helicopter that's filming this, because the police's job is not to film on... Or maybe it's a drone, actually. Let's not rule out it being a drone. I guess that's how they got this ready, which is very fortunate that, although, as Mudlight said in the chat, generally they don't release so much information about victims. Here, I believe they showed him being taken down, didn't they? Do we see that, or is this all just the aftermath? Surely if they had the footage of him being captured, they would let us see it, wouldn't they? But all we do actually see is police standing around, people in these blue suits. So, and someone's left a load of mess on the ground. That isn't... yeah, that's not really a crime scene. Oh, he was found at a burial place. A crematorium, cemetery, that's it. My mind always goes a bit blank when I do these live streams, so please forgive me. Yeah, Mudlight suggests could be of the computer-generated variety, and to be honest, I wouldn't doubt it, actually. Is this the only picture we're ever going to see of him? I guess, you know, he's looking pretty smart. But how quickly they got all these images together of him. I wonder who owns the copyright on that picture of... we'll go to the article that the BBC put out where they gave us a breakdown hour by hour. Right, yeah, we still haven't actually gone over what happened. This guy, Clifford, with the thatched roof style hair, he took a crossbow out. So now they've got an urgent review of them. Why not, hey? What a wonderful response to someone being murdered. Now, bear in mind, if someone wants to murder another person, God forbid, they'll find a way of doing it. Get rid of the crossbows. I'm not going to get too graphic, but you know what I'm saying. There's always a weapon at hand, for goodness sakes. Getting rid of crossbows isn't probably going to... Goodness knows. You can, I knew someone who told me they were assaulted with a Jif lemon. They were squirted in the eyes with lemon juice when a guy getting off a bus just randomly squirted him. I didn't know if they'd had an altercation or what, but, you know, you can make a weapon out of anything, for goodness sakes. Right. Prime Minister Keir Starmer, of course, the new Prime Minister. That's another thing. While we're talking about people who look fake AF, I do have another picture I want to share with you. Just 1 second. And we'll... let me just find that. I probably got it to hand. Hang on. Yeah, apparently here we go. Found it already. I thought it was going to take me ages. I came across this. I haven't watched it. We're not going completely off the subject of Clifford and that bunch, but we will, just while we're talking about people that look absolutely ridiculous and fake, am I the only person that sees this guy as, I don't know, the one possibility is this picture was taken of a TV screen and the proportions are out. Otherwise, how can you explain this? Is this some kind of strange angle that the camera's caught this guy at? Like, we're looking at, you know, if you tilt your camera down screen on a flat TV, on a flat screen TV, it will make the people look a bit morphed, as it were. But we do appear to be looking head on at this guy. This is a new politician, by the way. I'm guessing probably not going to be the last we see of him. On every time I see this person, whoever they are, I'm always going to notice that forehead. I will say that. The UK's youngest MP praised by the BBC host for battling back during live interview. I didn't really care what they said, to be honest. I'm not interested in MPs or any of the nonsense they talk. But I just thought it curious that 22-year-old get their numbers in. What was their name, actually? Mr. Carlin suggested they were going around in circles. Okay, just to prove that we weren't looking at that screen at a tilted angle, with the mute button firmly on, we will watch this guy getting interviewed. Maybe we could take the mute button off. We'll risk it. Oh, you won't hear it anyway. Alright, we don't need to hear the audio. Yeah, look at that. Look at that head. I can't be the only person that would wonder, either this guy has got a serious condition, or he's got a tumour or something horrible, or he's got a bald, they basically put a wig on him. There is no way, I don't know, something seems very skew-if and very off about that person. Make up your own mind. What's his name? Let's have a look. Let's learn something on this stream. I just keep seeing the name. Right. Sam Carling. That's another one of those names that just wants to jump into the numerology calculator. Sam Carling. 43 and 26. Remember the 6 and 2s? They 6s and 26, 23. And yeah, these are the numbers that come up a lot. I wonder what Carling is on its own. 37. Okay. Yeah, he did well during question time. That's the only thing I want to say about this guy. He battled back. Sam Carling, look for that name. I'm going to predict he'll one day be leader of some party or whatnot. Or he'll be involved in some big scandal where he we'll see. Something big will happen with this gentleman one day. That is my prediction. Yeah. Speaking of predictions, as insensitive as this may sound, one thing, Alita, great to have you in the live chat. Thank you for being with us. Yeah, Alita asks, what are you seeing? Who knows what that thing is? Perhaps someone got a bicycle pump, stuck it in his ear and pumped a load of air into his skull in order to make it grow like that. Another thing I kind of maybe insensitively make predictions about are people's funerals. Not everyday funerals. Not the kind of funeral where someone tragically dies down the road from you and you know who they are, or you know who they are but the names haven't been released. No way would I ever make fun of a genuine, legitimate funeral. However, when the people involved in such events become, totally put out there by the mainstream media to the point that our new head of state, he's not a head of state, he's head of MPs, king of the MPs is Keir Starmer. Is that another name that needs to be checked? It's a bit of an unusual one. Starmer. Surely we haven't got a prime minister who hasn't got at least a 26 in their name or something. 31. Okay. Computer hard drive and documents found in search. Well, that was convenient. Going back now to the case of the poor gentleman in... Yeah, the guy who reads the commentary on the horse racing. He lost all his family members. Remember, we're looking for people that might look a bit artificial while we're going through here. Also, we want to know who owns the right to the image of Kyle. I keep calling him Carl, but it's Kyle. Even the jockeys that... Oh, of course, I got it now. It didn't twig when we saw all these midgets standing around, and then I realised they interrupted an entire horse racing event for this story. You thought you were coming to watch a horse race? Nope, we're going to interrupt it with everyone standing in silence. Like they would... Oh, who knows. What's a crossbow and how and are they legal to own? Hertfordshire Police have already confirmed. Are they advertising this? Is this like a product advert? Get yours on... What's that terrible shopping app that they ram down your throat where they claim you can get this wonderful penknife that, I don't know, peels potatoes free for every sign up or every purchase. Yeah, this is a crossbow advert, I think. They're actually wanting to make the idea of owning a crossbow. Is it legal? Why don't you find out? Under the Crossbow Act of 87, it's legal to buy a crossbow in the UK and owners are not required to register. Remember that, people, if you like the look of this. Never mind, some people have just died. All publicity is good publicity. It's legal to buy, it's legal to own. Now, of course, a lot of people enjoy the sport of archery, of whatever they do with crossbows, hitting targets, and I can see the appeal to that. And, in a time before intensive farming, when going out and hunting your own food was a genuine activity, yeah, perhaps crossbows have their use, but this newspaper article certainly wants you to know that it's legal to own. You don't require a license, so if you want one, you better rush out to the shops now and buy one before they get taken away. Please urge anyone with information to come forward. I wonder what... Alright, I'm not going there. It might sound like I'm... Yeah, PA Media, you'll see this name everywhere involved with this story. anyone would think PA Media, what have I done? Anyone would think PA Media actually only, put this piece together. They got so many pictures, an unprecedented attack. The investigation will take time. Well, not really. You immediately released the name of the suspect. So sure were you what the suspect had done that you happily let the mainstream press go out and tell everyone. This isn't how real life happens. Utter crap. Right. It's an unprecedented attack. Even if it happened to a celebrity, that doesn't mean the police forego all their protocol for protecting evidence, getting statements, not biasing a jury, for example, that might be called to, judge the case, as it were. They don't want any of this to happen. However, it happens to a celebrity, make sure everyone knows about it. And we will see a horse-drawn cart. We are probably going to wrap up shortly. I am going to leave you with the collection of horse-drawn carts that we've so far seen. And this was going back 3 years. They've probably done plenty more since then. Might look insensitive. And remember, we're looking for people that look a bit artificial. PA Media, is this a genuine picture from the horse races yesterday? Or is it a staged shot for the cameras? I'm going to say these guys have just come out of the makeup department, and probably even the women in the background. Right, forensic officers continue work at the house. Well, don't worry, it's not like the press are going to suddenly, possibly cause loads of, the public to come round and start having a look round and contaminating the crime scene by walking across it. Some idiot going on TikTok in front of the blue tent, No, we don't want to risk anything like that, so for goodness sake, don't tell anyone where this is. Nope. Ashland Road, they even tell you where it's happening. Just, go and check it out for yourself, just in case you think we're making this up. There is something going on in Ashland. PA Media have got the press. I doubt you would get very close to this area on that day. I expect they would have cordoned this off long before whatever happened actually happened, would be my guess. Right, Louise Hunt. Another name. It's always good to see. Louise is 25 and 27. Hunt is a 45, okay. Yeah, we mentioned earlier, suspect Kyle Clifford was the former boyfriend of one of the daughters of the Hunt family. So it's a crazy ex who got angry, got a crossbow, and took out every member of her family. Just like in the movies, straight out of Hollywood. But don't worry, because PA had their photographers around to get to get all the interesting pictures, you could say. Police expected to provide update on case. As I say, people do genuinely get murdered. Of course, it does happen. Some of these stories may get a piece in their local news, but they will not reveal too much information about it. It's just how they do it. Until it happens to John Hunt, the popular newsreader. Popular commentator. He's got a very distinctive voice. They've already held a church service for it. Well, that was quick. This is where we need to be careful and not gossip. Now, you could say this is what I'm doing, not speculate and not have conspiracy theories. What a strange thing to say. Why would you need to warn people not to gossip? You people have rammed this stuff down our throat, and now you're saying you don't want us to talk about it? What a joke. How ridiculous. Yeah, if anyone is in the Enfield area, of course, I hope you're all supporting each other as suggested by this priest or someone that wants to get in front of a camera anyway. Right, do any of these people look artificial? Friends, family and members of the community have continued to leave cards and flowers near Ashlyn Close. I think I put that one in as well. And I could be wrong, but I think 63 comes up again. Right. Ashlyn is 18 and 25. 39, okay, a 43 with 39 and 43. Yeah, how much information have they willingly... Let's try and go right back to the beginning and see what the very first reports were, because the press were there from the beginning. Oh, Hertfordshire Police own this unusual... the copyright on this unusual image. Right, does anyone... Oh, goodness me, lost it there. Does anyone else see where I'm going when I say the guy looks like his head? His hair looks like a thatched roof on a old thatched cottage. Just how it turns its corners and whatnot. To me, it's just a dead ringer. Yeah, perhaps we'll do a comparison. Yeah, as I said, I went through the beautiful village of Bromham in Wiltshire and today, and it took me back to this. I'm going to try and do a side-by-side comparison before we leave, and then before we do end for the evening, we're gonna I'm gonna find where I've already collected together all the old pictures. By the way, Chunky Buster, great to have you in the chat. Chunky says it's AI. Yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised. Susan, lovely to see you also. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, apologies. Yeah, apologies if I haven't been keeping up together in the chat. What do you think the odds are anyone said hello on Rumble? I'm going to say slim to none, but you never know. Well, if anyone does want to absolutely make my night, if they happen to be watching this live stream over on Rumble, and just say hello in the chat. I promise I won't put it on the screen. No one will see it. Yeah, we are going to start coming to a close very shortly. Right, let me find my video. It's one I actually put up on Rumble not that long ago. Let's see what's going on here. Right, let me just find the video I put up on Rumble not that long ago. Yeah, the coincidental few. Again, the name of this video must sound so insensitive, but unfortunately, it's not me that's being insensitive by making up such a load of crap. Right, another very high-profile passing away of involved Archie Battersby. Another tragic case. And in that one, we happen to see where are we? Check you are seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, where are we? Yeah, I'm sure it was towards the end of the video. I put together my collection of all the people that have had these horse-drawn carts. Let's see. We'll let that play a minute just while we round things up, as we say. Oh, hang on. Okay, yeah, this was David Amos. Another story that this actually reminds me of. So, and these are all the other people that have been... I did say, I think, in one of these videos that it must be the case when you go to a funeral director, once they find out, oh, hang on, that your family member who passed away, that was quite high profile, wasn't it? Well, you'd be pleased to know we're able to give you a special celebrity coffin where you get a horse-drawn... special celebrity death package. Because the only place I ever see this sort of over-the-top funeral procession is on television. It's on soap operas, and what do you know? Actual soap stars attended this particular funeral. Kirsty Howard, I don't know who that is. Yeah, if the passing away of celebrities and, the stuff you hear on TV, my advice to you is take it with a pinch of salt. Always take a look at the numbers and never... Yeah, my advice is do not believe what you see on television. Okay. Yeah, Susan has pointed out the red coding, where I find they always have to use red. Now, you might be right, it might also come up in other things, is when they're doing live drama, as it were. Let me think. When they're filming, for example, an episode of Police Interceptors, then in order to know who is the, just so they can easily be identified, it seems to be the main characters always wear either blue or red. It is, red is always a big part of it, but sometimes there might be in blue as well. That's the colour of the main characters. All extras and bystanders need to wear black or white, and that is just how filming it seems to be done. It's even done like that in the soaps today. If you ever watch a soap, you will notice that 9 out of 10 of the characters seem to be wearing, well, maybe not 9 out of 10, let's say 4 out of 5 of the characters are wearing black, and every 2 in 10 might be wearing either a bright yellow or bright blue top. And it's just how theatre works, I believe. So yeah, you're absolutely right about the red always showing up. I haven't been looking for it in this stream, but let's have a look. We'll find one more of the... okay. More likely than you seeing red is actually seeing the numbers, I would say. And for that reason, before we go, we're just going to put one more thing in the numerology calculator. FY23 DWE. FY23 DWE happens to be a 32. The number I said look out for: 23, 32, 33, 36, 66, etc. And dual numbers. I don't know why, they always seem to come up. Another thing with these events, you can guarantee a PA will provide some of the copyrighted material. Okay, right. Anyway, that's at the very least, that's my opinion on this event. Obviously, people are going to be moved by it. Well, they didn't get many flowers there, did they? What time was that? 7:53 in the morning. So, after last night's England victory in Euro 24, the former footballer Michael Owen posted on social media, and while the country celebrate, spare a thought for John Hunt. He's just lost all his family. I can't remember feeling so utterly horrified in years. Michael Owen wants his name in it. Don't be surprised if Michael Owen's at the funeral. Yeah, he will be. Okay, I've got to make predictions for this. Let me bring up my notepad. Hang on, where are we? What have we got on there now? Okay. my predictions for at least one of these funerals will be... I'm going to go with horse-drawn coffins. Right, are you seeing anything that's going on the screen? Just about. Horse-drawn coffin will be one. We will see televised funeral, basically. Televised, either funeral. And what I mean by that is they'll have cameras at the funeral. They might not show it on live TV, but there will be cameras at their funerals of the victims of John Hunt, you know, John Hunt's family. We will also see celebrity. Last funeral you went to, ask yourself, how many celebrities were there? How many people that have appeared on the BBC News? Well, people do appear on the news sometimes. Celebrities at funeral. What do we think? Are they going to be... Everything else in this case has happened really quick, so I'm going to predict perhaps... Right, okay. I am going to predict... anyone else in the chat want to make a prediction before we finish? I will check. Oh, Mudluck says, I saw Michael Owen on a game show and he donated the winnings to Elder Hay Hospital, the hospital that stole dead... Oh, that's horrible, Mudluck. But that unfortunately doesn't surprise me. Okay, anyone got any predictions to add to our list? Okay, yeah, we're going to start bringing things to a close shortly, I think. I do just have time to remind you when you'll next get a chance to watch some Obby Lines content. When are we coming back next? Sunday seems to be my favourite. Seems to be my favourite night for live streaming, I would say. And the last 5 Sundays we've done... we've looked at a legal case in which someone who was had a big hand in inventing and making money off of the sale of vaccines is an expert witness in a case where they're trying to get a child vaccinated. One of the parents doesn't want it. So we've watched Stanley Plotkins being questioned by the plaintiff's co-counsel, Aaron Siri. And I find it... I mean, I did watch this once before, like a few years back, and I do actually find it it's very informative to watch it again, just finding out how vile and horrible the whole practice is. Right, if we go to playlists, I will put links to this in the description of tonight's video. Sunday I'll be doing part 6 of the Stanley Plotkins deposition, the watch along. We've got 5 parts so far. If you want to catch up on them, yeah, they're both on YouTube. The playlist is on YouTube, but you've also got the individual parts on Rumble. I would say, though, it's better to watch it on YouTube because I am able to crop out the, like where I've had problems on YouTube, they let you crop out live streams. So, yeah, I would suggest if you want to catch up with that, so you're up to date by Sunday evening, then have a look at the watch along. It's a playlist, a podcast, whatever you want to call it. I will be back Sunday evening. I do hope you can join us then. A few people I would like to say a sincere thank you to, starting with Mudlark, Susan, Chunky Buster, Elita One, We had Klebrekus in the chat earlier. We had someone called Carl who was timed out by Mudlark. Thanks, by the way, Mudlark, for doing some wonderful, what do you call it, moderating of the live chat. It is appreciated. Now, yeah, so thanks to all of you for taking the time to not only tune in, but to actually take part. Make me feel like I'm not talking to myself. Of course, that is the meaning of the name, the second sign. Well, the first sign of madness, talking to myself on a live chat. So I thought, call myself, my channel, live video, the second sign, right. Anyway, another way of showing I would like to thank are those people that take the time to hit the thumbs up button before they finish for the evening. Also sharing and subscribing is always appreciated. I do also have a list of names who I would like to thank. Now, if you're watching over on Rumble, you will be able to find links in the description of this video to other platforms that you can find me on. If you want to know how to get your name on my wall of appreciation, I'll call it, then yeah, thanks to Linda, Jokerman, who I don't think goes by that name anymore, Skeptic936, Random Games, who's nowadays called Sunstar Thunder Lightning, Nathan Oakley and Chris Brown have all taken the time to find a way to show their appreciation. Do you know what? Mudlark, Digging Up the Thames, the name should be on that list, because also been massively supportive of my channel since I started YouTubing. You've been here, as far as I know, from the beginning, so I'm gonna get you on there next time I update it. Okay, that is probably my time to thank you for taking the time to watch. Have a wonderful weekend. As always, my advice is observe the Sabbath if you want to be refreshed for the next week ahead. Always recommend doing that. Thanks for being with us, and hope you can make it on Sunday. Oh, Nathan Oakley also in the chat. Thanks, you got here in time. Mudlark says the person seemed to be a troll. I read their message and they're talking about femboys. Now, I don't know. I wonder if that's a reference. Could be a reference to the person, what's his name? Clifford. Kyle Clifford. Could be a reference to him being a femboy. I don't know. But if that person in the chat, Carl, isn't meaning to troll, then by all means, even if you are trolling, leave a comment on a video somewhere. Let me know. It might be a name that I've seen before. I'm not sure, but okay. Yeah, I hope you can make it Sunday. Nathan, Mudlark, Chunky, Susan, and I don't want to miss anyone. Now I've started, I've got to go right through it. Klebrekus and Alita1, thank you. Also Susan Byrne, if I didn't mention you again, thanks for being with us this evening. Okay, before I start rambling, I'm going to start playing the outro music.
Have you ever used orphans to study an experimental vaccine?
Yes.
Yeah, at the beginning of the outro music, as it were, you can see Stanley Plotkin being asked, being questioned. That is what the Sunday live stream's all about. I think we're getting to that point where he's asked those awkward questions about, you know, did you test on disabled people? Did you test on live animals? Ugh, it's vile. Anyway, I hope you can make it for that. I don't want to put you off. Okay, enjoy the outro music. Have a great weekend. As always, thank you for being here. Over and out. Good night.